Hi, I'm Lisa Duffler, editor of Canadian Calumet, and I'm here again today with Kelly Sidoric, our columnist for Depth of Field. And we're going to chat a little bit about the column from the February issue, February 2024, which covers the 7 habits of highly effective families. So, Kelly, one thing we were just discussing off camera here was just the idea that some people, I guess, have the idea that maybe some families don't go through the same challenges as others, but just tell us your thoughts on that.
Well, and maybe it's a little bit of human nature. I don't know if it's similar to the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, but the idea, sometimes we look at other families in business, think, oh, wow, they make it look easy. And then there's obviously the opposite end of the spectrum, which we've all heard the stories of severe challenges. But I think it's just important for people to realize and be rest assured that it is a work in progress, and sometimes it's really hard work. And to know that you're not alone and that lots of people go through these challenges. And, as we said, Stephen Covey, he's done a lot of work on personal and professional development for individuals, but he then takes and applies many of his 7 principles, all of his 7 principles, to what it's like for working with a family. And it's all relevant.
Yeah, one of the things he talks about a lot, and you talk about as well, right, about is continuous improvement or sharpening the saw, as he says.
Yes, I think, again, he stresses that on an individual level, but we should always be keeping that in mind for our operations as well, and having an intentional way of continuous improvement as individuals, but also allowing for the team, whether that's, regular training sessions or various ways that we can go about that. But also an important part of that is building into our processes where we're looking at to see where we're at, and what are some of the things that we could improve on, asking how things are going and being intentional about monitoring, really. We talk about that monitoring with our finances. We talk about it on our lands, but also we should be doing it with our human resources as well.
One of the things you covered in the column was kind of a framework for understanding how this applies to families, and they use the metaphor of a tree. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, and I like that analogy. And one of the things that Covey talks about is, relating the roots to the foundation. And that's the piece where it's important to build trust and acceptance. And then he talks about the bottom of the trunk being the mentoring and the respect and caring. Then the top of the trunk is the organization and alignment. And then the leaves being the teaching and the empowering of the principles. Another point that in the area of talking about different ways that we can monitor to see how things are going, it's also important, as I stress over and over again, to realize that everybody does have a different perspective. And he has some questions that he recommends. And there's 3 of them that we should be going over as a family business. And when there's a challenge, say, what is the problem from everyone's point of view? So not just from mine, not just from yours, but everybody that's involved. And also trying to identify what are the key issues. And then asking the question, what would constitute a fully acceptable solution? It's not going to be perfect for everyone necessarily, but what is something that would be acceptable to everybody? And when we take the time to share those thoughts, I think it can be very helpful.
Anything else you want to add today, Kelly?
No, it's always interesting when we can find people who are doing great work in the human leadership, professional development field, and Stephen Covey's definitely a leader in that regard.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.